Welcome. We are here to do a capstone review of the 10-module overview on how to research vendor lock-in. This is a huge topic, one that can quietly sabotage a company's entire tech strategy if you're not paying attention. So we're going to pull everything together from those 10 modules into a single powerful review. We'll cover the risks, the traps, and most importantly, the exact strategies you need to stay in control of your technology. Ready? Let's get into it. Okay, before we dive deep, we've got to get the important legal stuff out of the way. Just so we're all clear, this review is based on some really thorough research by Virtualization Options LLC. What we're talking about here are general principles, a way of thinking. This is absolutely not legal advice. For that, you always need to work with a good lawyer who knows the rules and regulations in your specific area. And hey, seriously, let's just start with this. Congratulations. By deciding to go through this 10-module course and now this review, you've already taken a massive step. Understanding this topic is half the battle, and it puts you way ahead of the game when it comes to making smarter, safer tech decisions for your company. So, here's how we're going to break it all down today. First, we'll revisit that hidden risk, the big why this all matters. Then, we'll dissect the anatomy of a digital trap. After that, we pivot to the solutions, your proactive research playbook, and how to actually execute it. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the end goal, achieving real tech independence. All right, let's start right at the beginning, just like we did in Module 1. To really get a handle on how to avoid these traps, you have to appreciate the core problem. This is the why behind all your research, the fundamental reason this is such a big deal. So what are we really talking about with vendor lock-in? It's not about just sticking with a vendor you like. It's that tipping point, that moment when the thought of leaving is just too painful. The cost, the complexity, the risk, it all becomes so huge that you feel like you have no choice but to stay. And that's it. That's the moment a partnership becomes a dependency, and your power to negotiate just evaporates. You know, the coffee pot analogy we talked about is just the perfect, everyday example of this. You get that slick new coffee machine for a steal, right? But then you realize you're stuck buying their ridiculously expensive, one-of-a-kind pods forever. That initial convenience, it's a hook. It's designed from the start to create that long-term, costly trap. And don't for a second think this is just some theoretical problem. The business impact is massive. We saw in the VMware case study what can happen. Once a vendor knows you're deeply tangled up in their ecosystem, they have all the leverage, and that can lead to sudden, shocking price hikes. In that case, up to 300%. That's taking the hidden risk and making it very, very real. Okay, so we're all on the same page about why this is so critical. Now let's get into the what. How do these traps actually get built? This is where we synthesize what we learned back in modules 2, 3, and 4 about the technical and the contractual gears that make this machine work. So often, the trap starts on a technical level. As we covered in Module 2, it can begin with your data, your company's lifeblood, being held in proprietary formats that are a nightmare to export cleanly. Then, like we saw in Module 3, they build these proprietary APIs around it. You can think of them like custom-made doors that only their keys can open. It makes integrating with anyone else a massive, expensive headache. Now here's the clever part. Those technical walls, they get reinforced with what is basically contractual barbed wire. This is what we dug into in Module 4. We're talking about things like huge exit fees, automatic price hikes buried in the fine print, or forcing you to buy a bundle of products you don't even need. Every single one is a financial landmine designed to make leaving just too painful to consider. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the lesson here. Your moment of maximum power, your greatest leverage, is before you sign on that dotted line. You have to plan your escape route before you even step inside, because once you're integrated and your business relies on them, the power dynamic completely flips. Okay, so we get the why, the risk, and the what, the traps. And yeah, it can seem a little overwhelming, but this is where everything shifts. We move from the problem to the solution. Let's revisit the how. Module 5 gave us a step-by-step playbook for doing our homework proactively, and that's what we'll recap now. This 5-step process is basically your roadmap. It takes you from just being aware of the problem to taking concrete action. So first up is technical due diligence. You actually test their data export. You poke at their APIs. Second, you dive into the contract and SLA review, hunting for those red flags we just talked about. Third, and this one's huge, stakeholder engagement. You get legal, finance, everyone in a room to map out how the business depends on this thing. Fourth, you actively explore alternatives. And finally, number 5, you set up continuous monitoring. This is not a one-and-done deal. It's about keeping an eye on your risk over time. See, the whole point of this is to move beyond just a gut feeling or a vague sense of unease. It's about applying a structured, repeatable process. A framework like this makes sure you check all the boxes, from the nitty-gritty code all the way up to high-level business strategy. A great playbook is fantastic, but it's just a piece of paper until you actually use it. So let's talk about execution. We're going to review some of those sharp, critical questions from Modules 7, 8, and 9 that really put this plan into motion. This question, which was the whole point of Module 7 on data portability, is just so critical. You can't accept a vague, "oh, yeah, we'll delete it." You have to ask for the how. Demand to know the exact process to verify that your data is gone for good from their side. Anything less is a major red flag. And here's the killer question from Module 8 on APIs. This gets right to the heart of your technical freedom. Why? Because if there's a key feature you can only access by clicking around in their user interface, but not through the API, well, that's a hidden chain. It means any automation you build is fragile and can't be easily pointed to a new system. And finally, from Module 9, you have to get real about the breakup. This question is designed to cut right through all the legal jargon. It forces the vendor to stop talking in vague clauses and start talking in cold, hard numbers and clear timelines. Knowing the real-world cost to walk away is an absolute must-have for your risk assessment. Okay, let's tie this all together. We've looked at the risks, the anatomy of the traps, and the playbook for how to defend yourself. For our last section, let's zoom all the way out. As we covered in Module 10, the ultimate goal here isn't just about dodging a single bad contract. It's about building a fundamentally resilient tech strategy that gives your organization real, long-term freedom. You know, when you boil everything down from all 10 modules, it really comes back to these 2 golden rules. First, whenever possible, prioritize open standards. Think of them like a universal adapter. They ensure different systems can talk to each other without a middleman controlling the conversation. And second, use that early leverage to negotiate flexible contracts that have crystal clear data rights and fair, reasonable ways to exit the deal. And this is what that looks like in the real world. Doing things like adopting a multi-cloud strategy or using open source software, those aren't just technical choices. They are powerful business strategies. They're designed to spread your risk around and make sure that no single vendor ever has you over a barrel. Which brings us to the one final question that this entire journey has prepared you to answer. As you evaluate every tech decision from now on, you have the tools, you have the framework to look at it and ask with total clarity. Is this a true partnership that gives us flexibility, or is it a prison that we are slowly and quietly building around ourselves? Thank you so much for joining me.